Good day and welcome to the news review on Unilag TV. My name is Adebola Adeduba. It is said that doing an internship abroad is much more hands-on than anything you might learn at the university. You actually get to experience the job beyond the classroom and you're presented with real responsibilities. That being said, the Economic Community of West African States is launching an internship immersion program which is to run for 12 months. Today's topic is Nigeria and international internships. I'll be having a representative of UNESCO whom I'll introduce after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still the news review on Unilag TV. Remember to follow us across all our social media platforms at Unilag on TV. Like I said earlier, we're discussing Nigeria and international internship. With me in the studio is Ambassador Emmanuel Ejiogo, a representative of UNESCO and a social worker. Good to have you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Now, let me start with finding out before we even get to the questions, we'd like to take a pause to know what people feel about international internship and relocating abroad. Take a listen.
It is no longer news that on the lips of many Nigerians, young or old, it is time to japa. And to them, the opportunities created by some international organizations like the UN, ECOWAS, and some big organizations is the fastest way to run. And so we decided to find out whether they would rather go abroad, get a training, come back to Nigeria, or remain there.
Well, actually, in honesty now, I would go abroad, get my internship, and come back to the country. Because in Nigeria here, we value superior. We view those certificates like from outside. We see them as superior to our own. So imagine I go and I get my internship and I come back and tell somebody, a company in Nigeria, that, oh, I interned with this company abroad, blah, 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 blah. They would always want to take me. Like, the chances are always very high. So yeah, I would want to go back and come back and make real money.
I would rather go gain skills and return back to Nigeria, because Nigeria is the land of opportunities. And you would rather go, personally, this is a personal question. I would rather go, gain experience, gain recognition, and come back to Nigeria to expand what I've learned. Because this is where the opportunities are. My own opinion anyways. People say opportunities are boundless there. But me, I would say opportunities are boundless here, because we have so many people in Nigeria, and each person signifies money to me. Yeah. When I roll around, I see each person as a money bag, because we have so much that we can actually give than what we can actually, than what we actually thought in our mind that, oh, if we have a particular structure at hand, we can actually make those structures meaningfully and gainfully right here in our country, because Nigeria is a land of opportunities left to me.
Now, I'll just go on my own and not come back, because Nigeria as a country, I'm tired of the country already. So I'll just go and not come back.
I would rather get training over there, get some certificates, then come back here. Either I invest, depending on the training I learned over there, either invest or work under big companies. Because most of the companies over here, they respect the certificate outside country. Once you get certificate from let me say Cambridge now, you get certificate from there, they will know that you're a top person and they will want to accommodate you in their company to work for them. And from there you can get a good pay. So I rather run, I get my DCJ, my certificates.
I think I'd rather go and study, gain some advanced skills, and come back to the country. We can use an example like the guy that shoots videos for Ashake. He studied abroad, and I think Mastercraft as well, and all those other guys, they studied abroad, came back to Nigeria, and they are doing very well. And I'm sure there are people around them that are learning as well, and those people will be better off for it. So.
My name is Florence Okavai, reporting for Unilag TV. Over to you, Bola.
And that was a Vox Pop carried out. Ambassador Emmanuel, what's your impression of the survey?
Well, I would want to say that we have two different kind of youths. We have the one who would want to improve his skill through internship, and as a result would want to travel to get more skill over maybe his course of the discipline. We have the other kind of youth student who also in his mindset is just, if there's any opportunity to travel, let me seize into this opportunity and jackpot. And in fact, in their mind, whatever you tell them that they should go acquire this skill and come back, they wouldn't even want to listen, because their mindset have been that there is nothing for them here in the country. But I want to tell you that there is something. If you have a skill and you have improved your skill in your field of study, I believe you will be employable. So these two sets of people, I think that is just what I can say about what I've just listened to now.
All right, let's talk about international internship. ECOWAS is opening its doors. What's your impression, about them opening their doors for international internships?
Okay, I think it's a good thing that is happening, and I want to give kudos to the ECOWAS organization. I think if they deem it fit that every youth should go beyond the classroom experience to acquire, to have knowledge of practical knowledge, experience of their course of study, I think I would want to give them kudos for that. And I would want our youth to seize this opportunity to a kind of improve themselves.
Okay, yeah, we've talked about international internship, but on a scale of 1 to 10, does international internship lead to employment, or is it a case of just acquiring numbers?
Okay, I think I should say that it will lead to employment, because the one that have just gone through theory is far, different from the one that had the theory and had gone to acquire some kind of a level of experience.
Right.
So both of them, when put together, when they go for an interview, I think the employer would want to employ the one that have the international experience through internship. So the employment chances, employment opportunities is kind of high for the one that have gone for internship.
But then let's look at how easy is it to get a job with these international organizations, with or without internship?
Well, generally, globally, we have the issues of all countries are faced with the unemployment issue.
Right.
But I want to say this, that if a youth, a student will acquire this skill, I think he will stand in a better opportunity, to be employed.
Ambassador Emmanuel, you are a UN ambassador. What's your perspective regarding, the rise in unemployment, and how can graduates be more employable?
Well, I think the issue of unemployment, like as I have said, is a general issue that all countries are faced with. But I think if a youth should be entrepreneurship driven, it will also help because most times we think of getting employment,
Right.
but we should now start thinking of how can we become an employer of labor
Okay.
by going into some kind of trades that will also help us.
I like you mentioned, being an employer of labor. But then, to be an employer of labor, you talked about entrepreneurship. You need capital. You need funds. How about they don't have the funds to start up a business? What happens?
Okay, I think the Nigerian government, basically, I can talk about the area of agriculture. They are supporting youths and also women, empowering them to go into businesses of agriculture, livestock agriculture, crop agriculture. If you have a very good proposal and you get to them, I'm sure you will assess the fund. And they like we have the Anchor Borrowers Fund. We have some fund that are meant for agricultural empowerment. Youths that are in agriculture can access that.
Okay.
And I think the government have also a program where if you have a very, very good project, proposal, you submit it, you follow it up, and in fact, they can support your dream.
Okay, it's Unilag News Review. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's still the news review on Unilag TV. Remember to follow us across all our social media platforms at Unilag on TV. Let's talk about students' preference to JACPA, in the local parlance, as against international internship. What's your perspective on this?
Students presently, if we will take the percentage of our youth who feel that there is better opportunities for them abroad, we have them on a higher percentage. But those who would think of the importance, the benefits, they can get this experience, come back, and even work from home in organizations abroad. Because I have a student who he finished from University of Ibadan. During his education, he traveled for internship and he was there in Germany and got the engineering experience. When he came back, in fact, while over there, he met his colleagues over there who said, this is an opportunity never to return back to the country. But he refused. He said, in fact, I must go back to my country. I think I have gotten this skill. And while back in Nigeria, he eventually got an employment that made him a legal migrant of Germany. Today he's there doing a very good job in Germany. So it is not seizing into the opportunity of this time I have an opportunity to travel out and let me just go and never come back again. I think it will be fine. They get the experience, come back. You never can tell. You can get the employment here or over there. And I think that makes it fine.
Okay, we have local internship. Here in Nigeria. Do you feel it's less effective compared to international internships? Because we have local internships here in Nigeria. They get attached to intern in a certain organization. But do you feel it's less effective when you compare with international internships?
Well, the local interns, and I think there is nothing, it's the same thing, but the point is just that some student would want to get out of the shores of the country. But here, we have multinational companies here as we have abroad. But there is not, it's still effective if they have it done here. Rather than over, but I think I would just advise if anyone that will have the opportunity of even traveling to get it there, is still fine, because I think traveling also will expose them to some kind of a cultural kind of I mean they gain from the cultural exposure of the other country they've gone for.
I was going to go there. In fact, you took the words right out of my mouth. Sorry. I was going to ask you, what's the import or relevance of international internship to nation building?
Okay, the relevance is that through this, the intern builds some kind of network. By the time they travel, they meet people they have not met before. And not only that, some in the course of internship, they get to have somebody that they take as their mentor in that field of maybe experience. And not only that, I think skills too are being improved.
Okay, as a social worker, you talked about skills improvement. Do you think our youths are properly groomed in contributing their quota to nation building? And if that is so, why do you think we have Japa on the lips of so many youths?
Well, our youths, I think they have to be oriented and reoriented.
Okay.
I've had an experience of some youths who feel that they are not very productive when they are in Nigeria because of the environment. But I want to tell you this, that our youths, they are very, 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 effective, and they have a whole lot to contribute towards nation building. When you take statistics of those who are performing excellently well abroad, you will see that a majority of them are Nigerians.
Okay, let me cut you there. In terms of reorienting our youth, how do you think we should go about it? What would be your advice or recommendation?
What programs should be structured?
Okay.
Where our youth should, be educated on knowing who they are, believing on themselves.
Okay.
And that is just what I would say. And like an organization of affiliated to UNESCO, we've been doing all of that, having programs where we oriented our youths on how they can very much believe on themselves, and also how they can contribute towards nation building.
Okay, let's look at UNESCO. Do you think they are doing enough, or United Nations? Do you think enough is being done in terms of, skill acquisition or even funding for these youth, in terms of getting the right skills such that they can give back to their society?
UNESCO organization have also been doing great things when it comes to STEM. science, technology, engineering, and maths. For every year, they support programs that adhere towards STEM.
Right.
And that is, I mean, when we talk about the artificial intelligence, you see it revolves round about STEM. So they've been doing a whole lot. They've been supporting programs that are improving the youth on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Okay, let's look at the criteria. Some would say, okay, international internship. How do I apply? What are the requirements? So tell us, what's the criteria to get international internship?
Okay, when you go through, I mean, our youth, as the students, when they Google, they will definitely find one or two organizations that are interested in having them to come over for internship. They would ask them what their level of education is. All those will be required by the organization requesting their coming over for internship. And by the time they are able to meet all of that criteria, and some of the organizations will also ask for a letter from the school to be sure, I mean, that this student is real. So by the time all of that documents are put together, I think the student is good to go.
All right. Ambassador Emmanuel Ejogo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And that's all we can take today on the show. My name is Adebola Adeduba. Happy Independence, Nigeria.